Hello there and welcome. My name is Linda and this is my channel, Linda T at Home. A very warm welcome to all my regulars, and if you're new, a warm welcome to you as well. Apologies for this very scary sight. I didn't really know what to do for my video today. I've got a busy day, nothing very, exciting, but I've got a few things to do, and I'm on a bit of a restricted time, so I just thought I'd do a little video for you, and it's kind of a get ready with me, and I wouldn't say spend the day with me, but just hop in and out of the video for the rest of the day. So this horrible sight is the fact that I'm just going to put my makeup on. So it's a fairly horrible sight with with makeup as well. Oh dear. So yeah, anyway, and I'll just chat to you while I'm doing that and show you. I'm going to show you what I'm using, but I think most of you have probably seen all the stuff I put on my face before. A lot of you have helped me choose things, so yeah, we'll get going. So I've had a shower and washed my hair. I'm going to use my blow dry thingy bob thing for that afterwards. I won't make you watch all that though, because that's boring. I've put some moisturiser on, and then I put the boots, I should have brought it with me actually, but I thought it's easier if I do it in another room. I don't normally put my makeup on in this room. The number 7 factor 50, is it serum? Was it serum? I don't know, I'm good at this, aren't I? And I don't normally wear makeup, foundation, unless I'm doing a video or going somewhere special. But today I'm going to put this BB cream on, and you've seen me use that before. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on, and we'll see how we go. And it's just trying to get everything in the right place so I can see what I'm doing, and hopefully you can. I'm so tired this morning. I don't normally wake up tired. I had a bad sleep last night. I'm going to put this on first. I had quite a bad sleep last night. Our dogs, for the last few years of their existence, they have been sleeping on our bed with us. And they didn't used to, haven't always done this, and I would always look down my nose at people that let their dog sleep on their bed. I mean, luckily the breed they are, they have minimal hair loss, so we don't sort of sleep in a hairy bed or anything. But the older one particularly, as she got a bit older, she started sort of scratching at the wall when we put them in their bed. They used to sleep in the kitchen at night. So, there's only so many times you want to go down and see if they're all right and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, basically now we just let them sleep with us. It's not really a problem. And the thinking was, we've got a nice big bed. So, there's plenty of room for all. But at the moment, I'm suffering a bit with my hip that has not been replaced. I've really got to do something about sorting that out soon, to get on the list or whatever it is I need to do now to get that seen to. And my shoulder is in bed. My shoulder is very painful as well. So it's kind of, I'm not really able to sleep in a comfortable position. And I just haven't got the heart to kick the dogs off the bed, so I've been putting up with it. But so last night I was quite looking forward to going to bed actually, because I've just put a little squidge on, by the way, and there's still that amount left. I don't think I need any more on. I don't think I look any better if I do. Yeah, and I haven't got the heart to kick them off. Because it's nice to have them in the room with us, and in fact it's really weird if they're not, if there's just the two of us in our room. So anyway, this morning I kept waking up in the night, and I had to get up early, even earlier this morning, because current husband had to go off early. So we started our morning routine about an hour earlier than we normally do. So yeah, I'm a bit tired now, but I expect I'll perk up. I've also, when I went to sit back on my bed after he'd gone, and I've been watching, I'm going to put a little bit of this stuff on my skin damage here. I don't know if everyone can see that I've put this on. I mean, when I'm out in the street, but just a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's been watching on Sky, I think it is, just on the normal Sky channels. It's called Polkington? No, Polking, hang on. Polking, I'm going to find out, 1 minute. It's called Polkinghorn, and it's about a New Zealand eye surgeon who is accused of bumping off his wife. He's saying she took her own life, and he is saying that, and everyone else is saying that he did it. And it's quite an interesting story. I don't know if it's more than 2 episodes. I'm halfway through the 2nd episode, so I don't know what the outcome is, but I needed to stop doing that so I could come and do this. So yeah. Other thing to let you know about is, well, not that I was particularly going to let you know about that TV show, but I have just been watching it. It's quite interesting. Just shows you really what people get up to. It's all quite interesting. The thing with my dog and the dog insurance, I've had a bit of a win there. I'm just using this old palette. I don't know. This I tend to use. Well, you can guess which one I use most. Could it be this one? And I sometimes use that bottom one as well, but I'll just use that other one today. Yeah, I spoke to a vet. Actually, it was just after I did my last video, and I've been moaning about having to spend all that money and being given, in what I thought was incorrect information. And not long after I'd finished videoing it, the vet actually rang me because we'd called them and there was no one to speak to us at the time. So she did ring back, a very nice lady, and I was trying to explain to her, because you don't want to sound like you don't care about your dogs and you're too stingy to care for them, do you? And that is of course not the case with me. I just think it's a ridiculous amount of money for that 2nd procedure to go ahead. But I'm glad I checked now, because I was chatting to her and she said, I explained the situation and I said, I've got insurance, but I know that that's going to put my premium up, blah, 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 blah. I won't go into it all again, because not everyone, if you haven't seen my previous video and you're that interested, it is on the previous video, and that might well come up as a suggestion at the end of this one. But, honestly. I said that I was under the distinct impression from seeing the veterinary nurse that this was a fairly easy procedure, and I wasn't given any clue that it might be quite a lot of money. So, I just wondered if we could separate the two and have one procedure done and then the teeth done at a later date, because it's the thing on her leg that's really bothering her. And she said, oh, well, she said, I don't know. She did say, first of all, she said, well, maybe we could come to some sort of adjust the price somehow. And I thought, well, I don't want her thinking that, I know these people overcharge you, but I don't want her thinking I'm, as I say, being a right old stinge bag. So I said, well, I'm not asking for that. I said, if we can just do the growth on her foot first, on her paw first, and then I'm going to get both procedures done, but I can't afford to do them at the same time, because it was going to be £1,300, and we've recently spent out quite a lot of money on her. So she said, oh, well, maybe we could look at the price. And she said, well, she said to me, well, I don't know really what we can do. And I'm thinking, hello here. So I said, well, what about if I actually bring her in either to you or to our closer vet surgery, and somebody can have a look at it, because it's only the nurse that has looked at it, the veterinary nurse, and she has taken photos which their vet had seen. She said, oh, that's a good idea. And I'm thinking, so she said, oh, can you come in half an hour? So I did. And she immediately looked at this little warty thing that's on my dog's leg and said, do you know, oh, there's a fly in here now. Where's that come from? She said, I can immediately see that this isn't what we thought it was from the photos that were taken. We thought it was much larger and needed more investigation, and we thought we were going to have to send off a biopsy, and she said it cost £200 just to send something for a biopsy. I mean, really. And So she said, I'm going to redo the estimate for you because it won't be anything like as much. And I thought, thank goodness. I mean, I don't know why she didn't suggest that somebody actually physically looked at them, and it was down to me. But so she went outside to do something, and we waited in the little surgery room, the little wait, you know, it's a surgery, isn't it? It's a surgery, yeah. And waited for her to do whatever it was she was going to do. And I'm just putting a little bit of darker just a tiny bit under my eyes. I know I shouldn't, because when you're old you shouldn't, but I just do that. And she came back a bit later on, well, after a few minutes, and she said, okay, well, this is something we can see that it's easy to remove. There shouldn't be any problems, that we don't need the biopsy. So your overall estimate has come down from £1,300 to 800 and something, 840 or something it was. And I thought, well, that's fine. That's saving £500. So I thought, I'm going to go with that. I didn't know if it was like, you know, the price is right or whatever, and you could barter her down a bit more. But I mean, these things, whether they're overpriced or not, there's a cost attached to them. And obviously it's not, you know, I do appreciate that sometimes these procedures are expensive. I mean, you've only got to look at private care for humans, really, haven't you? You know, it all costs, whether it's justified or not, it all costs a fortune. So anyway, so I was quite pleased about that. So she's still booked in for, I think it's less than 2 weeks now, to have her teeth removed and this thing at the same time, which hopefully, you know, they don't see anything sinister in it. As she said, we can tell exactly what it is. It's only about the size of a pea, but it's sort of near her paw, and she's just licking it all the time. It's driving me absolutely mad. Anyway, somebody said that they were eating their lunch when I was talking about this stuff before, and it put them off a bit, so I won't go into any more detail than that. But anyway, so fortunately we've saved some money on that. So yeah, that's it really. That'll do for today. Just a bit of this that you can't see the colour of. I nearly always go for browns, and this brush and this little chisely brush, that's all I use most of the time. I'm ever so bad at cleaning brushes. I mean, shoot me. So next thing is blusher. I've got a cream blusher, but I'm not going to put that on today. This is just a powder one. Had this for ages. Last time I put makeup on in front of you, I would have used this. Powder blush. I can't even see the brand on it now. It's all gone a bit, they always go a bit sort of tutty, don't they? I can't even read it, but anyway, you can see it's quite old. And I'm never very good with blusher. I never know how much or how little to put on. So I try to go for less rather than more, but I don't know, is that too much blusher? So yes, the dog situation was resolved as much as possible. So at least we don't have to pay all that money in one go. So that's pretty good. Well, I wasn't going to do that anyway. I was going to put it off so that you know, we did it over 2 payments. But I think a lot of you have excuse me, let me just do my towel. A lot of you have spoken to me about this in the comments, and thank you very much for that, and said that, you know, my thinking of just forgetting this policy, which is getting more and more expensive every year, forgetting that and going down the just put the money in an account route is probably just you know, just as good. I'm still considering it anyway. Right, this is the mascara I use. This is a L'Oreal Voluminous. I think it says Voluminous. Put your glasses on. Yeah, Voluminous Extra Black. And yeah, this one I said in my last video where I did something about makeup. I used to use this, well, it would have been in the 1990s. I don't know how old this particular thing is, but I'm sure it was 30 years ago I was using this, and I really loved it. And then of course they brought out all sorts of all different types of mascaras that I mean, you've got a mascara for every occasion really, haven't you? You've got various colours now. What I'm saying is the technology's changed, so you've got different sorts of brushes, you've got different colours, you've got mascaras that promise you a false eyelash effect, or this effect or that effect, or I honestly can't say I've ever found one that actually gives me a different effect to other than putting mascara on the existing eyelashes I've got. So I thought I'll just stick with this. This is about a tenner. I mean, some of these are ridiculous prices. And I did say, you remember that when I hurt my eye a few weeks ago and my eyelashes weren't growing properly on this eye, I'd noticed. And I wondered if it was to do with the antibiotic drops I was given, but they seem to have come back now. I mean, they're still not wonderful, but the length of them, which isn't, as I say, great, but they seem to have come back, so I'm quite pleased about that. And I can never really put mascara on without getting it on my lid, whatever I do. I don't know if it's because my eyelids are droopier now than they used to be, and they hang down. I don't know, Deputy Dog. I don't know. But anyway, but I do like to make my eyes up because, again, I've said this before, when you wear specs, people don't really notice your eyes, do they? They just sort of look at you. I don't know, do they? I don't know. But sometimes you need a little bit of a stronger look, I think, without looking ridiculous. So anyway, that was the thing with the dog, so that's good news. And the sooner this blooming thing comes off of her paw, the better, because she's driving me mad, keep having a go at it. And you know, I'm just frightened it's going to bleed or something. Again, sorry, you probably aren't having your breakfast now, are you? But yeah. So today I have got a few little jobs lined up. I have run out of bread, and we use a lot of bread in this house, which I know is a bad thing, but we usually have toast for breakfast, and current husband always takes sandwiches to work. And being as I'm a bit of a 1950s wife, I always do his sandwiches for I drag myself out of bed. Well, that's not true, because I'm usually awake by 5 anyway. So I do all that, and so I have a couple of rounds of sandwiches, so that means we use quite a lot of bread. And so anyway, I've run out of that, so I need to pop into, I was going to go to Sainsbury's, but I might go up the road to another, just a small town that's a bit closer, because I just need that and some more sandwich fillings for the rest of the week for his lunches. And my friend is coming over, well, when I come back from the shop, I've got to take my girls out because, you know, it's very hot at the moment, and I need to walk them probably a bit earlier than I normally do. We don't go far on a day like this. We just go round the block so they can go to the loo and have a bit of a sniff and see what's going on with all the other dogs in the neighbourhood. And then my friend's coming over about lunchtime for an hour or two to have a little bit of a catch up with her, and cup of tea and a sandwich maybe, or bit of cake, depending on how reckless we feel. And she's my gardener friend, so we usually have a little look around the garden. I've lost a little tree that I planted that was a salix tree, and I've had it for 2 or 3 years, and it was in a pot, but it didn't seem to be doing very well, and it was one of these sort of lollipop trees, and oh look at that, and it would never really go in the shape I wanted it to, because I'm just not very good at that sort of thing, that sort of topiary thing. So anyway, I took it out of the pot and I put it in the flower bed, and it's just kind of died off. So I don't know if it was completely dead. I'll do this, clear this up here properly in a minute. I don't know if it was completely dead, but it came into bud and the leaves were beginning to grow, and you could see the little, it's like a variegated leaf, and you could see the colour of the leaf, but then it just suddenly decided, oh no, I've had enough of this life, I'm going. So yeah, I got rid of that, and I planted something else in its place. I don't think there was any sort of infestation or anything like that. So hopefully the other thing that I just moved out of a pot and put there will grow. Oh dear, I'm making a right old mess with this. Yes, I mean this is definitely not how to put your makeup on. Oh my word. Yeah, don't do what I do. I was looking for some of those cotton buds in Sainsbury's the other day, because I never ever buy them, because you know the only time when they were all the rage back in the day, people used to sort of use them when they had babies, didn't they? I mean, as in cleaning bits of babies, but then they said, oh, you're not allowed to do that. So I've never bought them, but I was thinking, oh, they'd be useful to get these bits that I get on my face from under my eyes, but I couldn't find any in there. I'll have to look somewhere else. Right, but this looks particularly average, doesn't it? So, oh, I didn't bring any lipstick in, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna dry my hair. I won't, like I say, I won't bother recording that because it's tedious, and you've seen that recently. So I will dry my hair, just finish tidying up my face, and then I shall come back with you in a few minutes. So see you in a bit. Before I start doing that, just to let you know, if there was a lady, I'm so sorry, I can't remember who it was now. I thought, oh, I must remember the name and just mention it. Somebody mentioned about a John Frieda product to put in your hair to give it a bit more volume. And I knew that Sainsbury's did a lot of John Frieda products, and I went in there quite hopefully at the weekend to have a look and see if I could buy something. And I could find a million products by John Frieda, but I couldn't find this spray that she was describing. So I ended up getting another one of these. So I'm just going to spray this in the roots of my hair. So this is the Volume Blow Dry Spray. There were loads of mousses and just sort of gel thingies and whatnot. But this was the only thing that actually said Volume Blow Dry Spray on it. So I just thought, oh, there's my dog scratching the carpet. So I just thought we'll stick with what you know. So I'm going to put that in my hair, and then I'll be back with you shortly. Right, I've dried my hair, and I think it's all right. I was halfway through it. I'd literally done one side, and my phone went out. It was my daughter, and I thought I'd better answer it just in case there's something wrong. And there wasn't, but she was chatting for quite a long time, and I'm thinking, I need to dry the other side of my hair. So anyway, it was quite dry by the time I got round to doing the other side. So I did run my straightener thing over it. But anyway, I don't think it's too bad. I mean, it's not like I'm going anywhere special. And I've put some lip gloss on. I've got a really old, an elderly lip pencil, and I did draw around the edge of my lip. I try and do it as discreetly as possible, because I think there's nothing worse than people that have a really distinctive lip line around their lip. I just think it looks awful. So anyway, I've done that. Not that it makes any difference, but you know, I just feel like I've made an effort, and I put some lip gloss on. And the top I put on is the one that I've shown you. I think this was my Roman, well, I know it was my Roman haul, and this was the least liked top, but I didn't bother sending it back because I thought it was quite pretty and it'd be all right just for wearing, not for anything very special. So I've put that on today. Give you another look. And I've just got some jeggings on with it. And as I say, I'm going to the shop just to get a few bits and pieces. So I'll just put, it's a lovely day today, and it's probably going to be really hot later. but I'll put my denim jacket. I've got like an ecru colour, is it? Ecru? Like a cream colour denim jacket. I don't really do the double denim thing. I mean, as in blue denim. I never know whether that's the thing that you should do or you shouldn't do. So yeah, so I'm going to go to the shop, come back, walk my dogs, see my friend, and then I've got to pick my grandson up from school later, but I'll come back to you in between whilst if there's anything to tell you about, and at the end I might just show you my garden, how it's looking. I mean, I know there's only so many times really you want to see somebody's garden, but you know, I'm quite pleased with it. I'm quite proud of it this year. I think we've done quite well with it, and everything, I mean, I'm sure everyone's the same. Everything seems to be growing so well. We just seem to have had the right sort of combination of weather, I suppose, to have made everything grow bigger. Unless the other thing I thought was maybe it was because when we planted our new stuff and we were putting in you know, plant feed, maybe that's kind of washed through the garden into other things. I don't know, but yeah, I'll give you a little show you that a little bit later on. And yeah, so, and if I buy anything interesting at the shops, I'll show you that. So see you in a bit. Okie doke, I'm back from the shop. I know, doesn't get much more exciting, does it? So I went, instead of the hassle of going down to Sainsbury's, and also I heard when I was driving out my road, there'd been something going on the M25, and if something's going on the M25 junction near to where you live, you'll know, it just messes everything up. So I went in the opposite direction and I went to a Morrison's, but it's not like a big Morrison's. It's it used to be a Budgeons, and I suppose Budgeons must have all gone. I didn't really, well, to be fair, I rarely shopped in one. Occasionally I popped into the one that was where I went today, but it's just not always very convenient buying a lot of stuff, is it? They're only really for bits and pieces. So anyway, I went there and it's now a little Morrison's. So I'll show you what I bought. Nothing of any interest really. I did go into a big Morrison's not very long ago, and they had, I've never seen it anywhere else before. So I buy wholemeal bread and I buy white bread. Current husband prefers white, and I make myself eat wholemeal. And I quite often buy Warburton's, not for any particular reason. If a loaf of bread looks nice, I don't really mind, you know, whether it's own brand or anything. But he likes this anyway, so I bought this. But when we went into the other Morrison's, they had one with kind of green writing on, and it was thicker. And I bought some of that, and it was really nice making sandwiches with it. And I thought, oh, perhaps this little Morrison's will have it, but they didn't. So I just bought one of these. I've got a price thing here, receipt, if you're interested. So that was £1.85, which I think that I pay more in a smaller shop than I would in Sainsbury's, but it's still obviously one of the more expensive breads, isn't it? You know. I bought 2 bags of greengrocer's baby leaf salad. I use this sort of stuff quite a lot, and it's just, I know it's one of those things, isn't it? I've had years of buying a lettuce and chopping it up, but it's just kind of easier. I know it's probably more expensive to buy this. This apparently is delicate and mild, but I put this in, obviously in sandwiches, and quite often have salad with whatever we're eating. So they're good till tomorrow. I didn't really look at the date. Yeah, they're both okay till tomorrow, so that's fine, because I'm thinking of using them for dinner tonight. I've kind of run out of salady stuff, so I've got some spring onions. You might not call them spring onions where you live. I know they've got different names in different places. Where's onions? More salted, more salted. Honestly, I don't even know why I bother looking on this thing. It must have been, it says Morrison's salad, because they call them salad onions as well, don't they? 99p, I think that's probably what these are. I bought a little thing of butter, salted butter. I do try now, since I've been having this cholesterol thing, I've been buying olive spread. Sainsbury's do their own one, which is less than £2, but I put that in sandwiches for both of us because current husband doesn't notice, but on toast and things he has butter, and I just try and stick to, unless it's the weekend, I stick to the spread, which I don't really like, but in a sandwich you don't notice, do you? But anyway, just got a little one of these in case. I thought I might bake some sort of dessert, but anyway, so that is £2.35, which isn't far different to what Sainsbury's charge, I don't think. I bought some greengrocer's cherry tomatoes, always good in a salad, and they were £1.65 for 80 grams. I don't know how that compares. And a cucumber, I don't know, we just eat in this house, we eat loads of cucumber and stuff. Do you know, I was thinking to myself not that long ago, why do they sell them in these little plastic things? Because they're loathsome to open, aren't they? And I always have to take all sorts of implements to it to actually get to the cucumber. But I've noticed if you leave it in the fridge without this on, it does go softer a bit quicker. So perhaps it has got a use after all. I don't know, just my theory. Whole cucumber, that was 99p as well. And the other two things I bought, I know this couldn't get more interesting, this haul, could it? I bought, my grandson's coming for, I pick him up on Tuesday, so I'm picking him up from school today, and he always likes a pizza when he comes here. It's his big thing. I think it's the only reason he comes here is for a pizza. He does have them at home, but and he likes a margarita, or he likes the ham and pineapple ones, which are sometimes called a Hawaiian. I don't know if there's some regulation why they don't call them that all the time now. Wouldn't be surprised at all. So this was a Morrison own brand. I normally buy a Sainsbury's own brand. I don't know that there's much in, I mean, he's worth every penny of whatever this pizza cost me. But let's see, maybe it's salted. Oh, this was £3.50. I actually think Sainsbury's might be a bit cheaper. But of course, these smaller versions of supermarkets, they're all more expensive, aren't they? Because you know, it's the convenience, I suppose. And the last thing I got was a couple of chicken breasts. Now the brand is Shazam's, and I was a little bit worried about that because I do like to buy British. Oh, it's halal. Is that? I mean, I know these were the only chicken breasts I could find. Let's just put it that way. And I didn't see the halal thing because it's quite difficult to spot if you're not looking for it, I suppose. Now I know that with halal, the meat is produced in a different way to non-halal meat, which details of which I won't go into. But I don't know if that means there's any other different. I did look on the back and I saw it came from Birmingham, so I thought, well, at least it's British. Oh yeah, and it's got, I'm being a bit thick, aren't I? It's got the flag, so that's all I looked at. Yeah, I don't know really. I'll have to have I'll look it up, because if it's something I shouldn't have bought for whatever reason, I won't use it. But the reason for me buying chicken breasts was I was going to make a chicken Alfredo, and somebody has, maybe one or two of you, I'm not kidding myself, not loads, but a few people have said in the past that they'd like me to do another cooking video, which if I rated my cooking in any way, I would probably knock lots more out than I actually do. But I'm not really a particularly great cook. I mean, I don't mind doing it, but I mean, I don't mind cooking, but you know, I wouldn't say I'm particularly good at it. But we came across a, I've done one before when I think I did lasagna, and I did was it a chicken pie or something, and something else. I think I did 3 different things. But anyway, I saw somebody making a chicken Alfredo on YouTube, and I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that. And it's a pasta thing. So I didn't think current husband would want to try it, but he did. You know, I mean, he will eat pasta, it's just not his favourite thing. So I thought, if this is okay for me to use for, I'm only talking about sort of ethical reasons, I will use that, and I'll put it on the video today probably if I get an opportunity, because I've got, as I say, I've got my grandson this afternoon, and blah, 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 blah. No, not that he stops me cooking, but anyway, so I shall possibly do that. I don't want you being massively disappointed if I don't. So that was it. That was my haul from Morrison. It's now 11:25. I've as I say, been to the shop, and I've taken my dogs out for a walk. It's quite warm outside now, but you know, doing it rough. I think I took them out about 10:10. I mean, you've got to be so careful, haven't you, in the summer with the heat, and of course I tell you what, it's quite pressurising. I don't know if any of you find this that walk dogs, that if you walk your dog when it's hot and people are on Facebook sort of slagging you off, saying, oh, look at this person, take a photo of you and everything. So I'm terrified of that sort of repercussion. So but anyway, it's warm, but it's not too bad at the moment, and their dog walker's taking them out on Thursday, but she's messaged me to say she's going to be picking them up really early because of the weather. So you know, all the years we've kind of blindly done it without realising it, I suppose, but I don't know. Anyway, so that's out of the way. I'm rabbiting on, aren't I? And my friend should be here soon, so I'll get prepared for her coming. And it sounds like something religious, doesn't it? Religious, her coming. Yeah, so I'll put this out the way, and I shall come back to you in a bit. So I will see you shortly. Right, it's much later in the afternoon now. It's 5:20. I've just given my grandson his dinner and popped up here because I've looked, you know, I bought the halal chicken by mistake this morning, and I've been looking at what's the difference between halal meat and regular meat that I would buy. And the good thing I think about it is there's no hormones and whatever in halal meat. But I made the mistake. I knew there was something. It was something to do with how they kill the animals, and I was going to try not to look too hard, because if you're a meat eater, let's be honest, if you're a meat eater, you can't be too sniffy. You know, if you're prepared to eat dead animals, you know, you have to kind of live by your decisions, don't you? But I just read a little bit more than I needed to, or I meant to, so it's kind of, I could use it and make my chicken Alfredo, but honestly it would put me off eating it. So, and that's only because I'm aware of it now. I'm aware that normal, you know, regular chickens, all you know, chickens are chickens, aren't they? But chickens that aren't halal or slaughtered in that method still have to be slaughtered by someone. So I know it's a bit of a ridiculous thing, but basically it's put me off. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to get some more chicken and do that for you perhaps next time. But I'm going to do a little dessert instead, because I just feel that we don't normally have desserts every night of the week or anything, or you know, we don't really very often at all. But I'm going to make one for you, so just something quick and simple. So yeah, I shall do that for you shortly. So yeah, forget the chicken thing. I'm going to rethink that. Do that another time. See you in a minute. Right, so what I've decided to make, I'll just make this a bit higher, is a kind of a sponge, fruity sponge thing. I'm just using stuff I've got in the house. I haven't bought anything for it. So what I've used, and I think this might be a bit of a mistake, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. I've had this in my freezer for a while. It's just a frozen bag of summer fruits. And Sometime, I mean, I like to keep something like this in the fridge, in the freezer, just in case maybe if you're having some porridge or something, you can put some in the top. It makes it look a bit less porridgey, really. But I'm not going to use this, and you have to use it by November, and I can't see me having any porridge in the very near future. So what I've done is, what I'm going to do is a bit like an upside down sponge. So my intention is to put this fruit, which I have defrosted. I didn't know whether to leave it frozen, but then I thought, oh, when it cooks, all the juice will run out and I'm going to have a right old mess everywhere. So it's basically in this sieve, and I've taken lots of juice out and there's still some left. So that's going to go in the bottom. I've got this dish, and that's just some baking parchment. I don't know if all this fruit will fit in. It maybe not. Probably is too much. And I'm just going to go for a simple sponge recipe. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down on the sugar. It's asking me for 200 grams in this particular recipe I'm following, and I'm using 150. And what I thought I might do, because obviously this fruit will be really tart, which I don't mind, and we're going to have it with some ice cream, but I can either put some sugar in that. I might put a dessert spoon of sugar in, but I thought I've got some black cherry conserve jam. Sorry. Which I have on my toast sometimes, and I wondered if maybe I could put a spoonful in of that. So I thought that was a stroke of genius, but whether it'll work or not, I don't know. So, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. So I'm going to continue, just obviously it's sugar, butter. I'm using that butter I bought earlier. Sugar, butter, eggs, flour, and probably some baking soda. So I'll get on and just whisk all that up. So I've beaten the sponge ingredients. It's telling me, the recipe is telling me I can put milk in to make the mixture a bit slacker. But as there's quite a lot of juice in these berries, I think probably not. I mean, you know, who cares? It's not going to poison us or anything. It's going to taste okay. So yeah, I just did that with a little beater thing. I would normally, to be fair, do all this by hand, because I kind of object to all the washing up that beaters and mixers. I don't have like a proper mixer that everyone seems to have these days. I just do it because by the time you've got everything out anyway, you could have done it. So, but I did tonight, and I said baking soda, didn't I? And I meant baking powder. I put some of that in as well. So the other thing I've done is I've added a little bit of that conserve to the fruit. Now I know it's still sugary and fattening, but that's the idea. Maybe just a different way of adding sugar. And I put about a dessert spoonful of actual sugar in. So I'm going to assemble this in the bowl. I'm not entirely sure I can show you how to do it. Let me try and fiddle this camera a bit. I'm not sure what sort of view you're getting of this, so it's just mixing this round a bit. This is obviously the bowl from the weighing scales, and just thought I'd put that in there. So I'm going to put some in here. There's some bits of the batter in here, but I don't think it matters because, oh, the batter doesn't matter. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. This is loads, I think. So just spreading it out, obviously. And like I say, this is just stuff I had in the cupboard, and I thought I'd use this up. And I did think about making this anyway if I did the chicken dish, but I'll have to leave that for perhaps next time or whenever. And I've probably got far too much batter here. I just followed a recipe, but I thought I can keep the batter in an airtight thingy bob, and I can perhaps make some sponges in the morning. That might be quite a nice thing to do. So I don't really know why I'm scraping it off of there. So this is the batter. This is the fruity bit. And let's have a go. I mean, I've made things like, you know, fruits, upside down cakes and that in the past, but obviously that's with fruit that's a bit more kind of solid, isn't it? Whereas this is a bit all over the place. So this could be a big mistake, but if it turns out all right, that'll be good. I keep thinking there's somebody going past my window. Hold on. Right. I mean, you know, I'm no cook, as I keep saying. I just have a go really at things. Not telling you that this is a brilliant idea or a wonderful recipe, but and perhaps everybody does this all the time and I've just never thought about it before, because, you know, I don't really think I have very many original ideas. Right, so let's put a bit more on there to make it a little bit more. Oh, I seem to be using most of this batter anyway, don't I? So, right. So I think that will do. And I've got the oven on already. I've set it at 180. I've looked at this recipe on my phone. It's obviously not for this, it's just for a Victoria sponge. But the blooming thing just goes off all the time. It's a bit of a nuisance. You have to search for it again. So I don't know what the cooking time is. Hold on. Oh, just bleh. I'm going to do 20 minutes and then I'm going to see. I mean, I've made enough Victoria, sorry, creaky. I've made enough Victoria sponges in my life to know that, you know, they're usually all right. So I'll put it in for 20 minutes. I'm going to put it on a tray, put it in the oven, and I'll let you know how it gets on. Okay, so this is the finished sponge. I left it in for 25 minutes in the end. I took it out after 20 and the sponge looked a bit pale. So I put it back in. Now it's sort of come away from the sides like it's supposed to do, and some of the filling has started to seep out. So it's boiling hot, so I'm going to leave it to cool and then I'll show you what it's like when we have some later. Just wanted to show you what we're going to have the upside down sponge with. Let me just move you up a bit. Honestly, I'm very good at all this stuff. We're going to have it with this Swedish glacé vanilla. It's not ice cream, it's vegan, and my daughter got me onto this quite a while ago and I absolutely love it. To me it tastes really vanilla-y and creamy, although it's made with soy and it's dairy free, but we're going to be having that when we try this later on. So I will do probably a picture of it so you can see what it looks like, but I mean not just the ice cream, the whole thing. And I'm hoping this video isn't too long because I've done it in so many different bits. This is where I get a bit lost and sometimes some of the sections go on too long because I talk too much. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, by the way, I did look back on some of the video I've recorded and I said something about getting my girls, taking my girls out when I get home, which depending on what you might think that meant, I meant my dogs. Just to clear that up. Yes. So thank you so much. Please subscribe if you like my videos. As I say, I'll put a picture on at the end of this for that so you can see what it looks like. And I will see you next time. Take care and bye for now.